What's up YouTube, Codforman T21 here, and welcome to part number 4 of the Company of Heroes to Western Armies DLC. I just want to start off with a quick quote here. It says, "Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt." Anyway, that's by Sun Tzu. I just want to show you a quick clip from this upcoming video where I thought I'd use that using the fog of war. So enjoy the quick clip, and then we'll get right into the commentary. Tell me if you want to see more of these quotes at the front of videos and try to match them up to something. I think Sun Tzu's Art of War is one of the most important books ever written and has a lot of insight for military leaders today as well as world leaders in businesses. Anyway, let's go into the clip. What's up YouTube, QjFQJPlLqdw here, and welcome to number 4 in the Company of Heroes 2 Season 2 for the DLC Western Armies part. Anyway, so basically, we are on the steps and it's a 4v4. We have 2 Americans and 2 Soviets, along with 3, oh that's awesome, along with 3 of the Oberkommando West and 1 Wehrmacht. Now, unfortunately, towards the end of this match, it does kick me. I've been having a lot of problems with Relic, with the kicking lots of people. You can see right now I'm focusing down. Even though I'm getting shot by the Grenadiers, I am focusing on these guys here, very low health. So I want to kill the Storm Pioneers, and we managed to do it, so now I'm going to pull out. So usually on this map, you have, it's not looking too good for us right now. Because the South is lost, we just lost the center fuel here. And we have the trucks. You saw in the last few battle the trucks got to run over units, so... Oh, that's abandoned. That's not good. Nice. So yeah, basically, I don't get an ambulance in this as the United States. So I'm going now for bazookas because you saw in the last video what I did to those guys with, you know, no bazookas. Bazookas are pretty important. Kind of in the early game, especially for trucks like this and these cars that everyone makes, the Kubelwagen. Kubel. Anyway, the Soviet guy, he seemed kind of new. Well, 1, because he's putting 2 mines right next to each other practically. And 2, he doesn't think he's going to get flanked. Usually people put defenses along here, not like this. I mean, I guess that's... I don't know, you can be flanked pretty easily. So anyway, you can see I'm going to be using the volley fire on these guys, and it will suppress these units here. I just want to get them to fall back. So you can see they're suppressed, and they will get pinned. So even with just 2 guys, volley fire is very deadly. Oh, we did wipe out a full squad here, though. So we beat back the first assault here on the hill, and my men are coming back to the front line. We do have some bazookas. Bazooka's just a fun word to say, you know, if you think about it. You know, I'm getting a lieutenant out early. I do want to tech up, get some machine guns, and I used the scout car kind of once, the utility car. It's basically has a 50 cal on it. Cruise armed with bazookas. That could be kind of useful. So one thing that my teammate here, Troll, is going to do is he's going to make a lot of, I'm seeing a lot of American players, they just make tons and tons of infantry and do like blobs, you know. It's like pure blob attacks, and an Osman and machine gun just utterly rips into them, and also the Stuka Tufus. Just keep that in mind. This guy built back here, mechanized regimental headquarters. Interesting.
We have a lieutenant reporting in for duty.
So they took this point. I say, you know what? Why not? Nothing's guarding it. He's building another one, right? That's another guy. No medical things from these guys just yet. So this is one of the cool things this guy's Watchdog's using the Storm Officer, and you can see the thing above his men's head. That's like concentrated fire, so the men are more accurate. I love this awesome control thing. Use press right control to do that. Or left control. Cool. So basically, his men are more accurate, and he does have, it looks like some Obersoldaten to kind of back this officer up. I mean, overall, pretty cool unit. Just like I've been using the field officer for the regular COH is the Wehrmacht. This officer, okay, this guy's gonna blob up watchdogs, but I mean, still good use of the officer with how many infantry he's planning on getting. I'm pretty weak at the front line. You can see oh yeah, I am trying to take on a Puma here. Pumas aren't very good, it seems like. I can see a little bit of lag there. We only have one bazooka, unfortunately. I wish you could double pick up the bazookas. I wonder if you can, actually. We'll just see that. So I'm going to leave these guys back at base. I don't really need to use them. So I'm going with the armored tactics to get the, well, pretty much to get the assault engineers. I really love these guys. They also have satchel charges and stuff. We'll be seeing that a little bit later. The vehicle crews can be upgraded with Thompsons to help protect them when they're out of their tanks. The Wolverine, very weak tank. I would not recommend it. It's like if you need some armor out immediately, I'd get one. The Sherman Bulldozer, on the other hand, very good. It does have an artillery barrage. I showed that on number 2, as the United States. And as the Bulldozer, so it not only it can put up defenses for people, and it can also has a howitzer on it or something. So it like fires very anti-infantry. And then this artillery is just devastating, 240mm howitzer barrage. So I like this doctrine a lot. I'm actually using this doctrine probably the most now. And that Puma's going to back up. You can see they're all going to retreat. I wonder, let me just double check here for watchdogs. So in the last video I talked about, yep. So, okay, so the medical one can be made a forward kind of post, but not that one. So you can see we have kind of a light armored assault. This guy needs to be repaired. And it's coming in. And look, you can kind of tell this guy's a little new to the game because he put barbed wire along this thing. And the enemy's attacked from this angle twice. That car got blown up. You know, I see this right now. He has machine guns. He doesn't have any probably anti-tank grenades. He's just kind of screwed on this side. So they have a lot of light armor out. 2 Pumas. And then down here, Regimental Headquarters actually repairing because it got slightly damaged. Using that awesome searchlight to kind of see any kind of incoming threats. He also has men down here. I mean, I would not suggest on this map having men at the top of the map and the bottom of the map. It's just too much to control. So if I... Oh, we can't get 2 bazookas. Okay, that would have been helpful. Now I know. Okay, see, I'm learning stuff too, guys. And, yeah, so we have the regular Wehrmacht with the... I wonder where he went. Let me see what my doctrines or my allies are here. So newer guy went Soviet Shock Army, Howitzer, Conscripts, you know, the basic works. We both went armor here, and this guy went shock rifle. And for the Germans, Jaeger infantry, or lightning war doctrine, interesting. And breakthrough attacks with Panzer Fusiliers, that's right. And Firefly has not chosen anything just yet. Good. Anyway, so you can see, I'm trying to help cover him with an MG, because I've already seen those Heman waves. Look at the casualties we've taken because of stuff like that. And I'm just seeing my ally up here lose all his men. That was kind of disappointing. And then he's launching his own artillery very close to his own mines and blowing up his barbed wire. The enemy's flying twice from that side. I kind of feel like they would do it again. And I was watching this, I'm just like, oh boy. Let's use some shock troops to kind of run these guys off. Oh, it was the officer. That's what I don't get. Like, okay, you have the officer unit, right? If the officer gets killed, you can get a new one. But, I mean, they do lose their abilities, which I like. I think that's kind of realistic. If you don't have the officer in your squad, why should they? So this is a fighting position. I probably should have stopped before. When these guys get in here, they kind of like it almost seems like a bonus or something. See how they have like some mortars or something there. They have this weird thing over there. I think it's like rifle grenades. That's what I would guess. So this area is being taken again. Very aggressive stance here. Schweiner, the Panzer headquarters is now up. And on that. So you can see, I honestly hate, don't be this guy. Don't like blob up. Like how many infantry units is that? 6? Yeah. Don't charge the 6 infantry units. It's just, one, it's kind of spammy. I mean, it can be effective, right? But look how fast we're actually going down. I mean, these can be countered by artillery, especially the blobbing up. Like, I got news for you. If I went with the captain, right, and I got the howitzer, Could destroy these guys. My artillery can destroy them. Sherman's out, can destroy them. I might actually start using the captain more often instead of just going right to the, well, I mean, I'm going right to the Jackson right here. Or actually, I'm getting a Sherman. You can see they're taking back our field again. Luckily, we have the south. Thanks to the captain, though, that was good use. Captain. They also have bars, which are pretty decent units. They're actually piercing through the hull of this searchlight thing, and it's probably doing this thing. The flag is probably doing more damage than these bars are. Let's see if he gets it. He does. Probably by the flag. Probably friendly fire, and he is destroying the gun support there, and he's got to fall back. I'm seeing a lot of light tanks from the Wehrmacht. So as a counter, that would be the captain because he has bazookas, and then some of these lighter tanks. But just look at that. Ridiculous. I don't even have my machine gun set up. I'm ready. Keep on the fog of war though, so I very limited on the fog of war, and I just gotta pull these guys back. One machine gun cannot take on 6 units, including a Puma. So one vehicle and 6 units. So very blobby. So I'm just gonna fall back.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
And I do have my Sherman, and I'm upgrading this guy immediately before he gets on the map. He already has this upgrade. The upgrade's already in progress because I mean I need more machine guns to fight this kind of war here. So the next one I'm gonna get is gonna be a Jackson. I do like to get the Sherman out first to kind of cover the infantry while the Jacks can help take out the tanks. So my captain's here. I'm calling our barrage on him, and he's just gonna pull forward. I mean it's smart. And at this point, I'm trying to get my my guns firing. I don't want to switch over to HE because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to fight this Puma. And the light tank is over here. And I'm like surprised at how effective the light tank is against the Sherman. And I'm getting hit by all the Panzerfaust and rocket grenades and whatever these guys have. Yeah, the anti-tank rifle grenades. I'm getting hit by those. I'm trying to finish off the units. I do have these guys come up. They're just going to try to protect me because, frankly, this Puma Veteran Z1 might be able to flank around me and take out my tank. You can just see the blob. I kind of attribute that to players being new and just buying one of these armies, having not played COH2 before. But this guy kind of knew what he was doing a little bit with the officer there. So more artillery call down. Once again, just dodging it. I mean, for how much the artillery is, it's about 100. Okay, it's not that bad, but I thought it was worse. So keep in mind, I do have a smoke screen, and I do have the HE rounds, which are pretty good against everybody. This guy's gonna fall back again. Now Odats isn't sold in. We have MGs and ATs up. We have MGs up here, and they got wiped out, that AT gun. So we have a Sherman. He's pushing forward, probably going after. I was letting him know there was 2 snipers there during this match here, and he's gonna pretty much attack and try to get rid of both of them right here. The Puma is there with a ton of infantry, and I mean, I'd be kind of a little bit nervous if I were him because, one, they have all those AT grenades, and you could get stuck back here with an AT, and there's a pack already right there. My tank's too badly damaged to be repaired to get into this fight here. You should try to kill that officer. Whenever you see a unit down to 1 man, try to focus all your men on that. That's pretty. He's taking a ton of casualties here. You can see grenades are going off. So look at all the dead Americans right here. It's devastating, the high veterancy and then the oversoldats. These guys are very deadly. They're 400 manpower though, so keep that in mind when you're making them. And he's trying to get rid of that Puma. I'm telling you. Now I have my tank here. I want to push in and try to maybe kill that Puma. So here's what happened. His Sherman there. Here's what he did. He stopped right here. He hopped out his crew and retreated them. So he just gave the enemy a Sherman. I could not believe it. That he would just say, "Oh, hey, we don't want the Sherman anymore. Just take it. We don't seem to care." So I'm trying to pull back my tank here because I don't want to give the enemy 2 tanks. Don't want to give the enemy 2 tanks there. So I'm pulling back. The north is still being held because it's largely just being ignored. And we have 3 VPs against us right now. Well, we have 2. They have 2 VPs, and we're holding that 3rd one barely. So this is one of the awesome Jacksons. You better back the heck up, Mr. Scout Car, because this guy is ready to take you out. Very devastating shot right there. You also have SUs. So that's actually a Wolverine. No wonder it didn't kill her in one shot. So keep in mind when you're, I'm going to talk about probably maybe in a separate video, or I'll do a little bit in this video about the various American armor units here. Just going to have these guys captures. I could really use a medical thing, a medical truck, but I really want to get a Jackson out. So you can see I'm pulling back my tank to a relatively safe position. I can do the critical vehicle repair. That's if you have like a damaged engine. So like let's say it wasn't very safe here, I could hop out, do this, repair the engine quickly, hop my men in and pull back. So now I have 2 Shermans here. Next one's definitely going to be a Jackson though, because frankly we need to be able to fight some of these light armor they have. And on the mini-map, I do figure they do probably something right here. So I can't get an M10, not... I've used them once. They don't seem they're very good. I mean, they might be buffed at some point. But the Jackson, love that tank. So we have 2 tank destroyers here. Keep in mind that tank destroyers are pretty much like SUs minus the focus sight. No way to kill infantry, pretty much. They miss every shot. Oh, that was a nice grenade there. And they're even using these infantry support guns here, which do kind of fire. So I'm kind of pushing up a little bit. I see I have a little bit of an advantage, you know. I kind of maybe want to flank with my armor, and at this point I kind of see they have something here. So I do have these guys here, and keep in mind they do have a demo charge. So I kind of want to flank around the position on the hill, and they really don't have anything to stop me, and there's a big push going in the center. And I'm a little disappointed. I mean, look how many, look at that. It's just frustrating to fight blobs like this. So I'm going to pull back my Shermans and bring them around this side to help flank, because there's so many of these guys right here. I do not want them having American weapons. So you see there's a little light mechanized force pushing up here as I leave. So I'm going to pull back my men, but I am going to have these guys lay a demo charge on here. One of the cool things is you can actually place it, so I kind of picked which position I want to do. Like you put on the side of a building or something. So once again, running into the blob, I am shooting all my shots into the rear armor of this guy. I also have these guys with their bazookas, and they are just getting shredded by the mass infantry here. I try to pull them back. This tank is pretty much screwed. It's gone. So I need to pull back my veteran Z2 tank here. It's unfortunate. This huge infantry blob pretty much stopped me. I'm calling some smoke to pull back. And I see guys swinging here. I'm just like, oh my gosh, our line's completely broken. These are still up here. So, wow, that light tank fires pretty rapidly, doesn't it? So I'm going to pull back these guys and place a demo charge over here. This tank is kind of staying back. I am getting a Jackson, as you can see. So I'm trying to retreat. And you can see we're running into decent troops, and they're just wiping out my infantry. So you can see we're placing the demo charge right here. This soldier here. I'm going to pull it back, pull these guys back, and I blew that. So it's a great way to hurt the Ober commandos is just blow up their supply trucks here. It costs them a lot of fuel to replace them, and it delays any possible Panthers. These guys got wiped out on the retreat, so that's 2 units. A lot of heavy fighting in the south. You can see the units can be vetted up to like 5, which is kind of insane. Like field awareness, and then, you know, heal themselves over time. It's just crazy stuff, and they just keep pulling back from their artillery strikes that are going. So pretty much it's what, 20 minutes in the game, and my ally up north just has
Squad waiting for orders.
2 machine guns, very lightly manned, and an AT and some shock troops. He's trying to help down here. You can tell he's kind of a newer player. So I'm kind of holding the center against 2 guys. Just look at that, like. Man, we need like one of those I think they call them the Caterpillar Shermans, though. Just blow up those guys. So, let's be honest. At this point, another officer's out. His position is screwed. He has the tank. I mean, there's 1 AT there, and he has 2 machine guns. Sorry about that. Facing the wrong way. So 2 machine guns facing the wrong way. These guys are shooting. You know, it's a bad angle. And his soldiers just gonna get wiped out. So now these guys decide to like come up here. I mean, I think he doesn't realize this. Look at that, got hit twice, wiped out my captain there. So I have my tank here. I'm taking some shots in the side of this guy's armor here, and look at that nice shot from this Jackson tank destroyer. So I'm going to pull back my Sherman. It is Veteran Z2. It's doing a lot of damage. And I'm going to try to take out this Puma right now. Unfortunately, I threw down the smoke to cover my retreat, and it is blocking my line of sight on my machine gun. So that's unfortunate. I need to pull back both my tanks. This guy's going to get a little upset with me pulling back my tank, and is probably going to commit his Puma. So he sees that I'm completely falling back all my men here. We just can't win against those guys. I mean, there's just so many of them. I do have the barrage, though, which is pretty cool. I do know they have some posts up here. I do want to try to launch something on that. So this... Oh, he tried to man that with some guys. They went over the mines. So you should kind of... Well, that did get destroyed. That's a positive thing. So that's only on the battlefield. Looks abandoned, but it's not. Like the Storm Pioneers, these guys can actually get some fuel out of them. So infantry blobs kind of all around, like between this guy and my ally here, and so I just bring the rear echelon troops just to kind of like scout for me. I was upset at myself because I didn't realize there were so many. The blob was right here, so I called it like roughly right here on this command post, and it's not going to do really any damage to these guys. Okay, I did wipe out a mortar. That was something, right? And he's just going to be like, oh my gosh, he's going to push forward. They're in a very strong position on up here, pretty much. Direct hit right on that. That's awesome. American artillery, you know, it's a little scattered, but I'm telling you, it destroys stuff when it hits it. Yeah, I just love watching that. That's awesome. So we have less than 400 points right now. We are getting pushed back. So keep in mind, you want to keep your armor alive. That's always a positive thing. Yeah, I did get some direct hits in. I should. By the way, these tank destroyers are excellent against heavy armor. So I don't know why we can actually see them, and he's gonna get kind of angry that I'm sniping at his Sherman. And then your guys like can only see. I mean, that was a nice shot. That was a pretty decent range shot. So I'm gonna pull back. He's getting a little upset with how low the health is and wants to take out my tank. So he's gonna push forward. I'm going to keep my Sherman here to kind of block him so it's taking hits. And then that guy fired and blew up his Puma. So he just lost his light vehicles in pretty much a couple seconds there, which is pretty bad for him. But, you know, the blob moves on. Look at it. It's like on fire and like sizzling. So 3 guys are down south right now. At least we have the fuel there. Spam engineers. Heavy artillery keeps falling down. You know, Panther engineers will be very effective against American armor. It's pretty light. So the blob is taking its toll, pushing deep into our lines. Blob versus blob. I don't have a lot of infantry myself. I'm focusing a lot on the armor, and so I'm floating a little bit of manpower. So I started to take some shots on these guys. I even switched over my rounds, and I'm just going to fall back. That was a nice shot. See, look, that's the guy with the 105mm howitzer. So it's kind of cool. The AT guns can retreat, and those guys didn't get away, that's for sure. I guess that'd be a great way to counter it, get some of those Shermans. I mean, they are pretty down there. I probably should have gotten one of those. So you see my crew is kind of chasing these guys back a little bit. So I do have my armor. You can see when they do get Veteran Z3, gives them a target or weak point. Oh, are better able to target weak points, and you know, armor penetration's increased. This is very good armor piercing rounds. I think they have to be veteran to, yeah, they have to be veteran to get it. Yeah, it's very deadly, so keep that in mind. So we have some more of these guys with their grease guns. I do like these units. And they also have the flamethrowers, but I'm saving my munitions for artillery barrages and upgrading tanks.
300 points remaining.
So this point is looking pretty bad for us. You know, the thing is, the top 2 points, I realize at this point that, well, one, my ally up here doesn't kind of understand. You know, on this map, really, it should be these 2 players, me and Green, should be taking on the field in the center, right? And these 2 players should be pushing in the south, and it's not just the whole way around. So I'm moving in with my armor to take on this point here. I'm kind of ready for some kind of armor to pop out, and look what pops out, a Panther. Any second now, I'll see it. And this is not a fight the Panther wants to be taking. It doesn't want to be taking on 3 American armor units, including a Veteran Z3 Sherman. My tanks are having trouble hitting there. I'm just going to push in. I don't really see anything that could probably hurt me, and if he's falling back, it could be a trap, but, you know, it's worth trying to take out the Panther. And he's bringing up a machine gun. I'm keeping with my my tanks here, and I gotta say, these Jacksons, high energy, can take down King Tigers, and, you know, it's another armor down. And killing machine guns, that's a maximum. Interesting to see them recruit that. And here comes a blob, and they retreat again. So you can see they have so many buildings exposed, but I can't see any of these buildings, unfortunately, on the map. But these, if I'd pushed in and started taking out all these buildings, I probably would have gone Fausted or something. Anyway, I'm happy to see that 240 munitions for just... I'm being too hard on Street Tracer here, probably, because he's probably a new player here, but 240 munitions for one of these things, I mean... Ah, yes, here is the Panther, the Jagdtiger. Whoa, what was that? Heavy artillery. That was my artillery here. I abandoned the Sturmtiger. Like, the men got blown out of it. It was insane. You can see we have two artilleries going out at once. Heavy American firepower. Things are getting blown up. I think that was like a scout car. Yeah, they remanned that quickly. But this guy's devastating. Watch him fire. Well, that's kind of cool. Well, besides the massive thing. Okay, so over here, I realized they had some vulnerable outposts here. You can see this timer. That means he's counting to blow it up. Now, that's at least what I'm assuming. I haven't exactly verified that, but it doesn't matter. I guess they don't want to give me the XP, so I probably should have moved on to here because I didn't realize that. I kind of figured now there might be a kind of response force, but fog of war, pretty much all I have to say to that. This guy is devastating, the Sturmtiger. Let's see, more common known as a Sturmtiger. 360 kilogram rockets shoots. So we took back the north, and I'm kind of holding this area with a lot of tanks here. I'm going to come back to you when there's some more action. This is kind of a long replay here. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, welcome back. I'm now being assaulted by, I wonder what that was. It's a spotlight. Now being assaulted by, pretty much getting my men wiped out. I do have my guys with rifle grenades here. Just a huge blob. I got both blob players here, so I have JP and I also have Watchdogs. And that should have been done a hell of a lot earlier. These fire strikes, you know, storm. But you can see they're getting held up because, look, I have a machine gun here, machine gun there, one here. I have these guys firing rifle grenades and stuff. Oh, that's awesome. And there's a Tiger. So my tanks are backed off, and I gotta kind of... I'm gonna pull back my tanks to see there's a Tiger coming. And they destroy that. So that's what that means, the kind of white, that means they can see you. So we have two Tigers pushing in. And I know I'm going to lose this tank. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of make it turn its side to these tanks here. I know I'm going to lose it, but, you know, so that kind of Tiger got isolated there, and it's going to get destroyed between my combination of arms here. And we also have the IS-2 here. Another Tiger. We do have some... my tanks really need to be repaired here. So I'm going to let the IS-2 and the SU come in. I mean, these guys are kind of all over the place. Now they're focusing heavily on the north and the Russians, you know. And this guy is sniping with his Panzer Jagdtiger here. I gotta use a spotlight. I mean, it's pretty cool. And then they call artillery down. What artillery is that? Assault artillery? And when you see something like that on the map, maybe it wasn't assault artillery. Yeah, it was assault artillery. So we could see that on the map. You can see how this kind of changed colors. That's when you get your men the hell out of there, because look at all the damage it did. I wonder what's causing the smoke. Does it cause... I guess it caused smoke after it. Anyway, we have the Tigers moving up. my tanks are still being repaired. Where are they? No, they're not. I am taking shots into the rear of a Tiger here. I'm going to pull back my Vet 3 tank. So that's great. This is actually spotting for the other tanks. It shouldn't be able to see through these trees, I'm sorry. So I'm going to pull back my tanks and hopefully, you know, I'm calling smoke in and everything. And I'm just like clicking group orders to move back. I do have my infantry moving up. These Yogg Tigers, man, they're very hard to kill. And I even lost my tank here. This thing is deadly. It is sniping tanks. How many tanks has that killed? One. Oh, it must have been something sniped it, or you know, got hit by the Tiger possibly.
We just lost a unit.
So I called in the artillery, I think, around here, and it blew up my men. A little bit of friendly fire there. I guess I thought an assault was coming, but that's a lot of munitions. Someone said they're 100% wasted, but so I'm getting some more Jacksons here. I didn't realize this was abandoned. I guess I was kind of focusing elsewhere. So I'm going to move up here. There is an artillery support gun. Maybe it was a support gun that wiped my men out. So I'm going to flank. I'm going to start taking some shots at this tank here. And I know I have to back off at this point. Did get crew shocked. But yeah, we're a very small tank compared to that. And look, Veteran Z2 and I'm almost dead after one shot. Not looking good. More tanks being blown up north. The heavy Tigers, you know, Tigers are pretty vulnerable now to the tank destroyers, the M36 Jacksons here. Not the Wolverines. The Wolverines kind of suck. At least at this build in the game. So I'm repairing these guys. I don't know why I left this here. You can see our guy's leg is like, whoops. Sorry about that. You can see our guy's leg is like popping out of the tank. It's kind of like, what do we do? Just like push the bodies out or something? It's just weird. So my ambulance is here. Barely held together. These maggots are actually pretty happy. They're alive. Another tank destroyer. Yeah, I really should have repaired that. I guess I didn't see it. So I'm finally happy that we at least have some kind of Katusha or something to bombard this area, especially the blobs that are taking place. And Veteran Z2 AT moving up. Meanwhile, not a lot of change in the south. It looks like ROK Troll is now taking over the southern area here. Looks like there's 3 forces up north, so these guys are actually going to repair this. Repair some of this ambulance. I'm like, wait a second. Well, actually, this Katusha is like knocking my men off repairing. And they're going to take all of our munitions, which is not good. As America, we really need the munitions, so yeah. Not good indeed. So I have 2 Jacksons right now, and I got to figure out a way to take out this Veteran Z2 tank, which is being repaired. The problem is with the heavy infantry concentration these guys have, it's going to be pretty hard to single that out. Because you can see they have Veteran Z3 guys with field medical kit and inspiration. If this... Interesting. So yeah, these guys are pretty much inspired to fight harder by their officer, and these guys also have the anti-tank. So it's going to be very hard for me to deal a decisive blow against those guys. Also, our fuel is just being taken over by a field gun. So yellow has come up and now has come down again. If you see this, you can kind of, now we kind of know that that's obviously this thing is looking at them. I'm not sure it's fair that how long that line of sight is. I know it's infrared, but should that really go like that far over a whole like island there? I don't know. And I'll come back to you with some more action here. Okay, welcome back. My ally Street decided to launch an assault. He's kind of getting destroyed by a lot of heavy infantry of the Germans. You can see my abandoned tank did get destroyed there. And this is how you use armor. This is how you use the Jacksons here. You can see I'm going to come in on the flank of the Tiger here. Use them in unison, kind of like in a line. Well, not necessarily in a line, but just like make sure they can all hit their target. And use them in in unison together, and they'll just devastate. Even you saw how quickly that tiger went down. That was a full health tiger. So kind of use them as hit and run kind of units, almost like skirmish. So that's actually a great way to use this Jackson here. And then you can hop out and repair them, obviously. That's a good thing. And they are pushing forward. I think that was my fuel cache. Once again, he's making the SUs, right? He can't fight the infantry with that. More artillery's going down. There's got to be a way to, like, stop. I mean, there is kind of a way. Okay, yeah. Then I pull my guys up again, flanking the Veteran C3 Jagd Tiger. I am using the armor-piercing shots. And look how fast this thing went down. Veteran C3. So just kind of do sneak attacks and kind of hit heavy armor like that. And they're really not happy I did that. I even destroyed the spotlight, so this thing's not going to be shining anymore. This is a very critical point in the battle. My tanks are very beat up, so I'm going to have to pull them back. And thankfully these two, well, I mean, I did lose that tank up there. But thankfully my Veteran C3 and Veteran C2 tank came out of this engagement. And there's a tiger there, so I'm just like kind of limping back my tank, hoping my Veteran C2 tank doesn't go down. But he's focused on those Shermans there. He also has a Jackson here too. Interesting how the engine got destroyed from a hit from the front there. And then they're calling the artillery down on us, and I was pretty... Firefly likes the complexity of the units, apparently. So I'm going to pull back to out of this like sector here. Yeah, so assault, you know, that's kind of good though, because it devastates the area, and then it puts down, puts down smoke. So I'm going to hop out and repair my tanks here. Both of them, and I'm getting a third Jackson. Because guess what? There's another Jagd Tiger. Oh, that's actually, yeah, that's actually a King Tiger there. And yeah, we're using our range against these guys, and I mean, this is a devastating shot. I don't know why he wouldn't necessarily charge all of these right like that, especially when my tank is so still not 100% repaired here. I'm gonna hop into it, and this tank is almost repaired. At this point, I realize I just need to move forward. That's a King Tiger right there. I thought it was like a Jagd Panther or whatever. Jagd Tiger. So I realized that that's a no-win engagement right there. Look, his tanks are on fire. So I'm gonna now flank around with my tanks here, and they're gonna start heading out. I have a machine gun to cover against infantry, but you can see though, and these are meant for infantry only. Really, they're not meant for that. So we start. I mean, they're having pot shots on them, and we're actually doing a ton of damage against this guy, you know, especially when they're veterancy, and I am using that armor-piercing round. Don't underestimate that. So we have the Jacksons moving out, and I'm going to take out this King Tiger here. So yeah, definitely use the armor-piercing round. Use a couple of these, at least 2 or 3, and they'll utterly devastate. Even the Tiger is pulling back, fearing for his life. However, they are vulnerable. They can't take a ton of hits, but they do have a very powerful gun. They are doing kind of the strafing run, so I got to pull my tanks out of this sector here. So very happy to get that tank out of here. So yeah, Avenger 3, it's killed 3 vehicles and injured a friendly. So these guys are this is just a graphics glitch, you know, because they were probably seen by that spotting scope. You guys, there's none of that right there, and the Tiger's pretty beat up. They have taken over this kind of area. They have another Jagd Panther. So the game's going to end in about 10 minutes or so. I do want to point out that it disconnects me, which I was very unhappy about. So I see this is a burning wreck, and I'm like, you know, they're probably going to get a lot of munitions, a lot of fuel from that if they salvage it. So I'm going to move up and use attack ground on this and destroy that hull. Try to do that, especially against the Oberkommando West, you know, deny them as much fuel as possible. And defenses are very light in the south here. It looks like they have a lot more troops than they do here, because they have the 2 commander things. They have some half tracks in this thing. 18 infantry dead. So as you can see, I'm going to pull forward and start taking some shots and just destroy that wreckage. These guys are kind of using kind of a run sprint tactic there to get back up to the front lines. So here's the problem with the Blob for us right now. It's very close on the VPs, and we don't have a whole lot to stop them besides a heavy artillery barrage. So I'm gonna put my ambulance at some point here and start manning these machine guns that have been left behind.
The capture point is under attack.
But I'm a little disappointed with my MG here not setting up quickly. You know, these guys can just run straight into a bunch of bars and be completely fine and just dodge everything. Keep in mind, my armored force is good for taking out infantry, not tanks. It did kill some of these guys though. So we're standing our ground against these guys. And then the second blob kind of comes in. And then guess who comes here? We have the Soviets with their flame guys. I guess it's a counter. It might be a counter to the blob. Those guys are pulling back. I did lose a rifleman squad. I mean, I did lose my machine gun. Not a big deal. I'm going to pull my individual guys back. You can see, I mean, these KV tanks are pretty devastating, especially these very expensive veteran German infantry. And then I felt really bad because my artillery landed right on that tank and destroyed it. And you probably thought it was something else, but that was my artillery there, unfortunately. So, awesome. That just wiped out a ton of guys. So you can see the blob is like 2 men left. Like, he's lost a lot of his men. So the blob is pretty much dead, which is nice because it's a blob after all. And my tanks are all back here, just kind of, you know, well, this guy's taking a look at the tree. These guys are looking at each other. Just going to quickly repair, just make sure. Give myself as much possible health on my tanks as possible. And I was a little nervous at this point because he stopped right in front of a Veteran C2 AT. So I'm telling him I got to focus on this unit here. And the Tiger's going to come forward. He probably doesn't realize I have my tanks here. And that's my opportunity to kind of act here. So I'm going to push up. I don't think these guys are hitting anything. Yes, there's graphics glitches now in this. It's just like that. So I get hit by this, and I'm just like, wow, that's my Veteran C2 tank, and it's kind of screwed here. But we did take that out. I was like, wow. But he hit me through the trees. Not sure. Could you actually fire through this? I mean, Fog of War. I'm not sure you could fire straight through those trees, but whatever. And then this guy's saying the M10s are overpowered. You might be thinking the Jacksons are a little overpowered, but they don't have very good armor. And then heavy artillery comes down. I'm just like, really? So you managed to capture, so I don't have to retreat my men. Well, it's not heavy artillery, I'm sorry. It's the strafing run on the tanks again. So we're down to about 100 points now. Still have a tank up here, but the Soviets, look how much, look at all the heavy weapons looming behind 120mm mortars. 2 of them right there, Maxims, and letting men die. They're making a push in the south. They did just wipe out some engineers. I mean, these, you could tell these Obersoldaten spams, like if you did that, that'd be very deadly. And I don't know why he left his tank there. I mean, just whenever you see that kind of like barrage thing, it's going backwards, it's targeting tanks. It's basically like the Sturmovik. Well, it's like the German anti-tank Sturmovik kind of thing. And that's just, that's devastating. So get your tank the hell out of there. You can see I pulled my tanks back because that's just going to specifically targeting those tanks. So, Blob Part 3. He managed to rebuild some of his Blob. His officer's somehow still alive. Don't ask me how. And I'm manning machine guns. But there's a lot of these guys. And we have the ATs that are here. So yeah, he did go down the captain line. So you got about, I guess it's about a 15-minute rule or so. I did pick up one of their MGs I stole there, and the Blob, well, a couple guys from here are now moving over down to my side. I really wish this game would just been able to finish with us. I mean, like, it's frustrating when you play a game for 50 minutes and you get like a, you've been disconnected from the Relic server thing. Like, they need to really fix that. And you remember in COH1, COH2 when it first came out, we had the desync errors, and they were able to fix those, but probably in my last 5 games I've been kicked out of 6 of them. Probably my last 6 games I've been kicked out of 5 of them. I gotta be kicked out of 6 games if I was talking about 5. So yeah, I've been pretty much kicked out of every game I played in, which is quite frustrating for me. You can imagine playing a game like this and, you know, having a very close towards the end here. You see it's 75, 74. And my allies are pushing up here, and I'm gonna push in this area here. The thing is, the infantry, they can hold this. That's one of the problems here. I mean, I can destroy any armor they have, but it's the infantry. So yeah, my guy here. I might try to push up, but keep in mind we're a little bit outnumbered with a bunch of these Panzer Fusiliers.
Tank destroyer is ready for orders.
I'm definitely gonna keep trying to get you guys games and stuff, but it's quite frustrating. And they know about it. They apologize for their servers going down temporarily, but I don't know. I think they run their servers off of Steam. That's what they do with the Company of Heroes 2 new Steam version. I'm pretty sure they do that. So Steam's not going down, but their servers or their connection to their own servers just keeps failing. This guy's energy 3, 17 infantry killed. He baited me. I saw his Tiger over here and I wanted to attack it, and he had all his men here, and yeah, those guys just got screwed. So I had to pull my tank back. And you can see this guy's right here. I mean, you gotta be careful with this Yog Panther, because that will happen. You get your engine destroyed and you get wiped out. Yep, kind of use these guys like SUs. They're pretty much like SUs, kind of, but more a little bit. They're more maneuverable, kind of hit skirmish tactics, kind of here. So you can see we are taking all the victory points right now. I have more infantry pushing up. They are sending everything they have towards this victory point here. Desperately trying to kill this Tiger here. Doing the artillery. It moved back, so it missed. We're standing still, and we wipe out a Tiger there. So I did lose the infantry unit. I'm gonna pull this guy around and get him the hell back. Pretty much a rifle grenade could probably hit him there, and that got abandoned. So I lost a Vengeance 3 tank, but we do have 2 points here. There's a lot of fighting up here. Some more shock troops here. Very infantry are just getting shredded, you know, in this match. And yeah, that area is won in the north here. And we won the south. You know, they're taking down their bunkers here. So pretty much, yeah, I'd say we won this game at this point. If we can hold the north here, and you know, he's bringing in more troops and he has artillery there, and I'm making more infantry. My Energy 2 crew got wiped out. So Watchdog spammed a ton of infantry this match. So did JP, but the Blob did get defeated, which is good. So remember, artillery. I think what really did it was the artillery, and then the Katusha, along with some of those Shermans. The Sherman with the bulldozer, 105mm. So we lost his tank there due to this anti-tank rocket launcher. They're now making another push, but look, they're just getting their men destroyed, you know, by these shock troops. It makes sense, you know. I don't know what, he shouldn't be running away. I don't know what he's calling artillery in. So that artillery should, yeah, it looks like he got hit directly with the fire. I wouldn't have necessarily done that. I would have just tried to wipe him out myself, because now he has to cut through the fire and have some of his own guys burn. So you can see they have taken this, but the south is pretty much fallen. Oh, there's a Panther there. So the south's pretty much fallen. They did steal a tank. We have a lot of men up here. So the north is ours, the south is ours. It's about 50. It's pretty close right now in the victory point, but we pretty much won this, and I'm taking this at this moment. So this is a very good game. Once again, wish it could be finished. And then I just play, and you see all of a sudden you see the circle with the Americans, and you see defeat, and you're just like, what the hell? So disappointing, but it was nice to show you guys most of this game. You guys can see that we pretty much would have won this. You know, the shock troops, they should deal death to these guys, and you know, they're bringing up some more troops. But I mean, we have all our tanks here, and I have tanks and machine guns here. We're forcing them back, and even artillery is being called. It's the flaming artillery. I wasn't sure if that was ours or theirs. So I'm gonna bring my lieutenant here and capture this point. Yeah, they're burning they're burning too fast on that. So that's also, yeah, this center artillery is very good. Look at that. Okay, could a spotlight really see like all the way to here? I'm a little skeptical now. So they're throwing everything they have, and this is when and at this point, this is when my connection to Relic cut out. I hope you guys enjoy this. Cod4Man221 signing off. Leave a like and a comment down below.